Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the weekly Levinson and Associates webinar training series. Thank you so much for taking the time, especially in the middle of a busy afternoon here. So obviously the goal is that everyone walks away with some nuggets, something that you can learn and utilize in your everyday life insurance sales practice, right? So make sure you take out a pen and paper, jot down notes, use that question box. It's typically in the right-hand corner, depending on your setup, either in the bottom right or top right side. And Andrew's going to do his best to answer every single question or comment that comes in. If we don't get to you, we will get to you as soon as we hang up the webinar right before 4 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, so please make sure we want to hear from you. So, you know, at the end of the day, we create these trainings around you all. Okay, so the goal is that everyone loves what they're listening to and they can walk away with nuggets and make more sales. That's the name of the game. So please share, good, bad, and different. Very important stuff. Okay, so without further ado, we're going to jump right into the presentation. I want to apologize. We were a couple minutes late. We had a little tech issue on our end, but we are good to go now. So product of the year, okay, in the permanent space. So very important stuff for you all, especially if you're working our mortgage protection leads or final expense leads. You know, we have to be honest here. We know the name of the game, right, for target premium and high commissions is UL, GUL, IUL, right? We always want to try and pivot into that direction if we can, if it's the right prospect. So you have to know enough to be dangerous, okay? And if you're a veteran agent that's already working in the large case market, good for you, okay? These are going to be products that you can utilize as well because there is nothing else in the market that works like these two products that we're going to touch on today. It's actually a few products, but the two that we're highlighting right now is the IUL and GUL. Very, very unique. Number one, if you remember years and years ago, there was a few different carriers that had these table shave programs, these table reduction platforms, whatever you want to call them. Now there's one. Okay, now it's a big deal, especially in the middle of a pandemic with COVID going on and everything else. This carrier will shave, let's say a standard 1, 2, or 3, right? So 1, 2, or 3 tables. They'll shave off to a standard non-tobacco, okay? And you say, well, Bill, is that really a big deal? Yes, it's a big deal because if your client, let's say, is working with another agent, right, and that agent is quoting another company and they're showing at least 1 or 2 or 3 tables, you're going to come in, okay, at a minimum of 25% less premium, all the way to 100, literally almost 100% less premium. Obviously, you're going to be Superman or Superwoman and win over the case, right? So again, knowing enough to be dangerous. So Columbus Life, A+ rated, owned by Western Southern Reserve, huge company. Okay, they also own Gerber Life, one of our biggest guaranteed issue companies. So great A+ ratings, great financials, and they have some really neat niche stuff that you can utilize. A 12% cap on the IUL product. That's a big deal now. And I'll tell you what, if you're looking for a very low cost GUL, okay, guaranteed universal life or no lapse UL, hands down, this is the #1 product. And we're going to show you why in just a few more slides here. We're also going to have our question of the day. So right at the end when we're wrapping up, I'm going to ask you all a question, and it has to do with the slides we're going over. So make sure you're paying attention. And whoever answers first and correctly will announce your name, and you win your choice, Amazon Echo or the Amazon Fire tablet, okay, and a copy of our prospecting book. And then what we're going to do as well, everyone's a winner, and here's why, okay? If you're appointed with Columbus Life under Levinson, we will send you the prospecting book for free. If you get appointed today, okay, you send in licensing sometime today, I'll also send you the new IUL prospecting book on us. Okay, that's simple. Everyone's going to get a thank you email by the time we are done. You'll have it roughly 8 p.m. Eastern time. The thank you email will contain licensing for Columbus, all of the brochures, basically everything you need to get started, okay? Andrew, let's also include a little email me form for the prospecting book. So this way everyone has full access and they can get their copy. Okay, just a few other things. Of course, e-application, non-med up to 1 million. Okay, another big plus, especially these days, right? Nobody wants these examiners in their house or their office. So non-med up to 1 million, and Chad and Sherman are going to dive into that a little more in a few more minutes. Okay, we're going to start with the first slide. Now, it's important for everyone to know, right? What are our go-tos? What are the agents loving? What are the agents utilizing, right? Especially for the last year and a half during this pandemic. So anyway, this was a testimonial that came in by David, and I just wanted to share real quick. It's on our social media pages. Just wanted to tell you that the team at Levinson is amazing. I just spent time with Robert about joining Levinson. Robert was very thoughtful, thorough, and helped me understand the benefits of working with your company. He has been incredible. Also, Josh, Noah, Andrew, and Heidi, thank you all. So we'd love to see this, Dave. In fact, he's on right now. Thank you, David, so much. And I love for other agents to see what other agents are saying about Levinson. It's very important, especially if you're working with a few different IMOs, or maybe you're not 100% on board yet. So, you know, they say the proof is in the pudding. Well, here's the proof, and we love seeing this stuff. So please send this in at any time. We want to hear from you. Okay, so our first slide here is the direct permanent product contracts that Levinson has. So we are an IMO. That means this isn't a typical MLM platform where we're 22 levels under the GA, who's under the MGA, who's under the IMO. Okay, no. Okay, you are direct with us and the carrier. That's it. So what we also wanted to note is every carrier with a red asterisk, what that means, you sell any one of these products and your client gets the 1-year free scholarship, okay? That simple. So literally, you sell the product and you can talk about this with your client. You can even use it as a marketing hook. And then you just tell them, hey, Bobby, go to my website, BillLevinson.com, click on scholarship, and your client can self-enroll right from your website in literally 2 to 3 minutes, and it's 100% direct to consumer. So it's very easy. It's not like it was a few years back. Now, as long as you sell a qualifying product with any of those companies with the red asterisk, by the way, including Columbus Life, okay, the webinar you're on right now. So every one of their products comes with this for free. And here's a biggie. Let's say, for example, that you, as the agent, were contracted with another IMO, okay, or even with Levinson, whatever the case is, and you sold hundreds or even thousands of these policies with any of those carriers. You can go back to those clients and say, hey, Bobby, Michelle, great news. Remember I sold you your UL or whole life product 3 years ago? Okay, well, guess what? I'm now a Sage active Levinson agent, so I can award you this 1-year free scholarship for your children, okay? And they say, wait a minute, this is too good to be true. No. Just spend 5 minutes with me on the phone. I'll explain the program. We'll get you started, and boom, you have full access. And now your child, right, has a 1-year scholarship to any of our 425 colleges across the country. Doesn't cost them a penny, doesn't cost you a penny, no commission reduction. Okay, so it's for past policies sold and for new policies sold. And Columbus is part of the program, as well as all of the other carriers that have the red asterisk. Okay, so very important notes for you to remember this. It's a biggie, and we're going to show you why. We're going to show you the ultimate differentiator. What makes you unique? Why should Bobby and Michelle work with you, right, over the other 922,000 agents in the U.S.? And we're going to show you why in just a little bit. Okay, let's move forward. So real quick, I was talking about why and how this product and carrier is number one? Well, here, again, proof is in the pudding. Here's a spreadsheet that we ran, 45-year-old male, preferred. Look at the left-hand side. We ran a UL guaranteed to age 90 on the left side. On the right side, guaranteed to age 95, $500,000. Who is number one? I don't even have to tell you. Just look at the right and left side, number one carrier, look at the premium, and then you can see who is number 2 and 3. And the best part, number 1 comes with scholarship and table shave. Okay, so no gray area here. It's black and white right in front of you. Okay, and by the way, Andrew, let's include this slide in the thank you email so everyone has access to this. Okay, moving forward here, let's jump right in. We have 2 guest speakers from Columbus Life. We have Mr. Sherman Reeves and Chad Orso. These are our VPs with the carrier. They're going to take it from here. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the presentation. Sherman, you there?
I am here, Bill. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, let's get the screen shared here. Just bear with me for just a moment. All right, are we all good?
Yep, we are good.
All right, sounds good. So thank you, everyone, for the opportunity. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. It is exciting for us to be a part here at Columbus Life of Levinson and Associates, and I think this is 3 months in a row we've been fortunate enough to be a guest here to talk about the relationship and talk about opportunities that exist for you and your clients and niches where we can participate. We never claim to be everything to everyone, but we certainly believe we have a great story to tell. And we want to discuss GUL today, but we want to discuss it in the context of table shave, also in the context of sales ideas, and then with a couple of case studies to show you how you might rescue some cases that you've had in the past that have not worked out quite the way you wanted to, and there may be a way to go resurrect those cases, or to just watch for future cases where that opportunity might exist. So to begin with, let's talk about what we call the expanded standard program. Bill did a nice job of introducing what a table shave program is. The official corporate name is expanded standard. We call it table shave around the industry. And most notably, Bill said that, to my knowledge, we are the only surviving table shave program. One of our quality competitors just pulled theirs in the last several weeks. It's available only on universal life plans, and it is available for applicants between the ages of 20 to 60. So only on permanent insurance from 20 to 60 and up to $1 million maximum face amount. Now, nice and really good timing for us to get together and chat about this, because with COVID, pre-COVID, the table shave program was actually available up to age 70. And as of Monday this week, we have made an underwriting decision to make some adjustments based on the vaccines being out. So as of this past Monday, so on any new cases, new permanent insurance cases, that would be guaranteed universal life, traditional universal life, or indexed universal life, or survivorship indexed universal life that you submit with Columbus Life, if you have a customer who's rated table C or better, up to $1 million on any of those plans, we will automatically give them a standard issue contract. That's up to age 60. Now, the good news is that if you have a customer between 61 and 70, this program didn't exist for the last year because of COVID. If they have now had the vaccine, they have completed the regimen, as they say, of an FDA-approved vaccine. So this would be looking at who? Pfizer, looking at Moderna, or the Johnson & Johnson one-shot. If they have completed those and it's been at least 14 days, we will now open the table shave program for those people up to age 70. Also good news is we will now consider up to 5 tables apart from table shave, so separate, not including table shave, but apart from that, between ages 70 and 75, if they have had the vaccine and completed the regimen. So as far as I know, we're one of the first carriers to make the shift in underwriting based on vaccine attainment. So I know, we're starting to see vaccines become much more prevalent. And so I'm excited to say that you now have an option up to age 70 for table shave. So as we go through this, and the Levinson team can certainly answer any questions and talk to you about customers. So great resources there to do this. Couple of things to note, and we're not going to spend a lot of time here because this is a little bit in the weeds, but I at least want to put it on the table, no pun intended, is that it's not available on any cases that we actually physically have to send to reinsurance. So in other words, facultative risks. If there's a flat extra involved, or a temporary extra, some call it, and it's only on new business. So if you've submitted cases in the past, we will not re-underwrite cases from the last year that might have come through to Columbus Life under this program. So with that said, what does this do for you? Well, it helps with adverse underwriting decisions. So to give you some perspective on this, and I would encourage everyone on the call, if you don't have a sheet of paper already out, take out a sheet of paper, take out your iPad, your Apple Pencil, whatever it is you take notes with, and start a list of people that you can call after this call. But as it relates to table shave, what do I see pass through? Who are people that really fit for the table shave program? Well, number one in my book that I see legitimate cases very, very often are diabetics. If you have what I call a normal adult onset diabetic who's in good shape, they take care of themselves, and they would probably be rated 2 or 3 tables, we see many of those people come through standard on our permanent products. So somebody that's otherwise healthy, that happens to be a diabetic, you probably want to pick up the phone and talk to your Levinson sales team about potentially shopping with Columbus Life. What about other people? People that are, I say, too short for their weight. People that might have a little bit of a BMI problem. You might want to take a look at those folks, because sometimes just weight issues will kick them into a table 2 or a table 3. They have a standard opportunity here. So if you have someone that you've worked with, a client, a friend, someone you've been thinking about insurance for that maybe is a little bit overweight, they might be someone that you look at for this program. Someone with a cancer history that is a few years back that might still get a low table rating. There's any number of medical conditions that come into play. And one of the beauties here is that the Levinson team can pick up the phone and talk to any of our underwriters and talk about your case on your behalf. So a great opportunity for them to run your case by us before you ever submit a piece of business, saves you time, saves you trouble, but gives you the opportunity to really work with your customer to find them the best opportunity possible. So just some great things to work on here. And of course, it's going to help you place more policies. That's really the bottom line here, is that you're trying to help people, you're trying to make a living, and obviously improving your placement ratio is going to help you and your customer and everyone involved. So great opportunity with the table shave program. Now let's talk about the Voyager GUL product that Bill was kind enough to show those great rates on earlier. And I want to give you some highlights on the product. And then I also want to give you some positioning ideas for the product, some ways to go find the money to use the product, just to get your mind thinking so that you can add to that list that you're making while you're listening to this webinar today. So as we look at the Voyager Universal Life, let's talk about the basics and get those out of the way. So this is a guaranteed universal life product, and it offers 3 choices of guarantee periods. You can have a no-lapse guarantee period to age 90, to age 95, or lifetime, which is to age 120. One thing to keep in mind on our product is if you choose the lifetime guarantee, the 120 guarantee, you still only pay premiums to 100. So you have the choice between all 3, depending on what your client need is. You select it. And we will illustrate it. And even in the system, there is a comparison that will let you look at all 3 of those and see which one might be the most affordable option. And it lets you really tailor to the customer need instead of giving someone a guarantee that they don't really need to pay for because they need coverage for a much shorter period. Another important item to just keep in mind here at Columbus Life is that all of our products include an accelerated death benefit rider, ADBR rider, and we'll talk a little bit more about that here in just a few minutes. So with that said, let's talk about guaranteed universal life positioning. What are the options, the possibilities? Where would we do this? Well, first and foremost, this product has often been called a term for life product. it's a term for life alternative in the industry. Why is that? Because you buy a guarantee, typically to lifetime to age 120, and you pay a guaranteed premium. That premium never changes. And the trade-off for that guarantee is that you typically don't see a lot of cash value build up, but you don't see prices change. You don't have to worry about losing coverage as long as you pay for the product. So this becomes a great permanent insurance solution for people that are young families, people just getting started, people looking for a more affordable alternative, just to be sure and get that level of coverage that they need. Unfortunately, in my experience, we find that people are way too underinsured in the marketplace. And that's simply because they get these weird numbers in their head, like, well, just give me 100,000, just give me 250, give me 500. And I know, having lived in Florida for 20 years, that the average home in Florida is probably 300,000. And if you look at replacing income, taking care of children's college, paying off the mortgage, paying off some consumer debt, it's very easy to find that the average family of four needs somewhere between $1 to $2 million of coverage to really do their risk management planning properly. And of course, the Levinson team can help you if you're looking for ways to calculate that and have a better idea of figuring out what those real numbers are. But this becomes an affordable solution for a permanent portion of that need. So that's number one, is looking for a low-cost alternative that will give lifetime coverage. So number two, table shave. The GUL can be an alternative to term, and I'm going to give you some case studies in a couple of minutes just to give you an idea of what that looks like. So just keep that in the back of your mind, and we will move forward. Third is legacy. So this one I want to give you kind of an idea to think about, and rather than show a lot of illustrations, we'll be happy to work on your specific cases through Levinson and Associates, and they can give you some real ideas of what the numbers look like. But think of it like this. You know someone who's in their mid-60s, say it's a 65-year-old female, and they have plenty of money, and they're looking at giving an annual gift to their son or daughter. And right now, according to the IRS, you can give an annual gift of $15,000 a year to each of those people, and they can do with it what they will. One of the other options is, instead of giving that $15,000 to the son and daughter, or daughter and son-in-law, or however you think about it, where you might give $30,000 even, we see that done, is what if we took $15,000 and just did a policy on a 65-year-old female? So if grandma is going to give $15,000, why not put it in an insurance policy, and it's standard risk that Voyager Universal Life, guaranteed to age 120, would buy $615,000 that would pass income tax free upon her death. So if we could turn a $15,000 gift into a $615,000 gift, that's a dramatic way to think about this. Now, if you're thinking, well, I don't know a ton of people that have $15,000, well, just do some simple math. If it's $5,000, it's probably roughly $200,000 if you do simple math on that illustration that I just mentioned. 15 gets you 650, 5 gets you around 2. So it doesn't have to be a huge number, but you can do a lot of good in terms of legacy perpetuation. And so what do we see? We see people take what would have been a single gift that they might be giving to kids or grandkids. And let me tell you, people love their grandkids. Not always their kids, but they definitely love their grandkids. So you often want to talk about them. But if you could take what they were going to give to the kids or grandkids and turn it into 4 or 5 times the amount using insurance, they could still give the same amount to the kids or grandkids, but maybe they want to give it to who? A religious organization, to the Boys or Girls Club, to some other group that they believe in, their university, so they can multiply their beneficiaries. So all of a sudden, a simple annual amount of money turns a guaranteed premium into a guaranteed death benefit, which then turns it into a guaranteed gift to whoever it is that they want to benefit. So they can create this legacy however they want to. So think about who you have that's charitably minded, that loves their grandkids, that loves their kids, that loves a religious organization, that loves some other charitable organization, and they want to give money to. Put them down on your list, because they're going to be people you want to talk to about a program like this, and it's going to do a great leveraged job. And by the way, think about it this way. Right now, they may be making a donation. You can talk to them about making a difference. I know a producer who uses that phrase, and he will say to people all the time, do you want to continue to make donations, or would you like to make donations and make a difference? And he talks to them about how to continue giving, but also make a huge gift at their passing. And that can be a really, really useful way to talk about the emotional side of giving and creating legacies. Can also talk about just transferring wealth, estate planning, using the product for those types of solutions. And then finally, one that I want to mention that seems to just continue to be neglected, and we see people make really good markets of it, is looking at business solutions. Looking at a guaranteed universal life product as a way for a business owner to take care of the business as it relates to a buy-sell agreement, as it relates to a key employee and how to replace them if something untoward were to happen to them. These become great fixed cost solutions. They're predictable. They know what they're going to cost. They know what they're going to get. And if you aren't talking to businesses about protecting themselves, especially coming out of this pandemic, where if someone was out of work for 2 or 3 months recovering from this, their business may have suffered dramatically. Don't forget about the living benefit side of this, the chronic illness components, the critical illness components that exist as riders on the products that are in the marketplace now, including the Voyager GUL. So to wrap up this slide, and that's a lot, think about who you could put on your list. Who needs good, basic, affordable coverage? Who maybe has some minor medical conditions that we could take care of? Who wants to leave a legacy to family members or other organizations? Who has wealth to transfer and who has a business to protect? And those are all people that you could get off this call, reach out, get on the phone, pull files, reinvigorate conversations that you might have had, and reach out to Levinson for quotes on this product and have a real opportunity to go have a gangbusters week with new sales opportunities and solving lots and lots of problems. I mentioned accelerated death benefit rider. I know that Andy Cowan, our training coordinator, who does a tremendous job, has done a couple of these calls. And if you've been fortunate enough to be on with him, he's probably gone over this. I just wanted to point out our chronic illness accelerated death benefit rider has 2 forms of payments. You can get a lump sum payment or a periodic payment. The periodic payment tends to give you the largest amount, 50% of the death benefit up to $1 million, taken over 3 to 10 years. So real attractive as a chronic illness need, take care of someone in their older age or in their infirmity, something to really pay attention to in these products. And the other nice thing is these riders are built into Columbus Life products at no additional cost unless you exercise them, and then there's a cost for use. So they do not hurt product performance. There's only a cost if they actually exercise the rider, which is somewhat unique in the industry. So let's look at a couple of quick case studies on table shave, and then I'm going to hand it over to Chad in just a few minutes to chat about the IUL that we have on the marketplace just briefly. So here's case study number 1. This is John. He's 50. We're using the state of Ohio, which is where Columbus Life is based, here in Cincinnati. And the producer and John believe him to be in standard health. He's married, and he needs $250,000 of 30-year term. So for this example, we're going to use Columbus Life's term, but this could be experienced anywhere with anyone's term, and we can show you an alternative solution with table shave. So let's look at what happens. We have a proposal at standard, and $250,000 for John is a $1,997 premium and change. Goes through underwriting, and then what happens? Turns out he has a medical problem, and he comes out of underwriting at table C. Well, now this term product has gone from $1,997 to $3,458 because of the table rating, and everybody groans a little bit and says, wow, that's unfortunate, but the medical condition is there. What do we do next? Well, one of the things that we can do is if this is internally underwritten at Columbus Life, we can just make the switch to a different product. Obviously, if you have it with another carrier and it gets rated, you would have to submit here for the underwriting here at Columbus Life. But regardless, let's look at the outcome. there's some possible solutions. Well, we could reduce the face amount to control cost. Maybe we could switch and go to a shorter term instead of a 20 or 30-year term. Maybe you go to a 10-year term. You could, of course, pay the premium and you could flip it to a different carrier. But we can also look to change to a universal life. Well, normally, if you change a rated term to a rated universal life is typically more expensive. You're going to have an issue. But in this case, at Columbus Life, you have the option to use the table shake program. And keep in mind, this is not something you have to ask for unless you're moving the term over. On a normal underwritten universal life, it just automatically happens. A C becomes standard if it meets the other parameters. But we may see some premium savings here. So let's look at that example. So in this case, our $1,997 premium went to $3,458. But if we flip it to the Voyager, the age 90 guarantee, $250,000, we end up at $3,034. So we knock almost $500 off the rated term price. And there's one other thing that happens that's really quite nice, is that we get a standard underwriting class, which makes the client feel better. We get a lower annual premium into the term. But remember, we went from a 30-year term, so an age 50 person with a 30-year term to age 80, to a product that now is guaranteed to age 90. So we get 10 more years of level guaranteed cost protection and the same desired face amount. So that's how you can take a rated term and turn it into a better situation with a standard UL using the table shake program. What happens if it's a female? Similar story, similar application. Here's the bottom line numbers just to cut to the chase here. We have what was a $1,457 premium gets rated to $2,513. If we flip it in this particular case, because of the rates with a female, the premium is comparable to the term, but we add 10 more years of coverage at that guaranteed rate. So if she lives into her 80s, she has that coverage in place as long as the premium is paid. So very nice, convenient, professional way to help your clients, gives you a level of technique that will impress the folks that you work with, and you're also bringing them the quality that is Columbus Life. So all of that adds up to a really, really nice story to tell when you start to look at this. And keep in mind, too, that we're going to pivot just for a moment before I hand it over to Chad on the IUL side. You can also table shave IUL. So if you have an IUL case you're working on, maybe it's for an accumulation, it's a LURP sale that gets rated table C with another carrier, what happens to your performance? It suffers because the cost of insurance are higher for the same dollars. So with Columbus Life, you take that table C to standard, you're going to get better performance in the IUL purely because of the lower cost of insurance that comes with making that flip. So there's any number of ways to think about this. Just keep in mind that the Levinson team is well equipped to help you understand the different pieces. And as always, for all of us that are in the field prospecting and talking to people, nothing happens until something happens. So you definitely want to be out talking to somebody on the list that you've created, seeing where the opportunity is, and building something to move forward. So with that said, we've been excited to be here from Cincinnati. I am going to turn it over to the Regional Vice President in the state of Florida, that's Chad Orso, just for a quick update on the Index Universal Life. And of course, if we can assist, please let us know. Thank you, Bill and Andrew, so much for the time.
Thank you, Sherman. Great job.
Hey, everyone. Can you see my screen with the IUL details on it?
Yes, perfect, Chad. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, well, thank you, Sherman. It's tough to follow that. That's some great information. Hopefully, everybody had a chance to take some notes and write down some potential new conversations to have with clients. I want to close out our part of the presentation on the IUL here today. I sent this over to the Levinson team this week, and they asked me to share this with you. This is a comparison that we did, kind of I would call it a non-biased comparison that we did last week on March 12th. And we just said, let's look at the market. Let's look at Columbus versus our main competitors and some big industry leaders. and just run age 35, 45, and 55 to see how the key metrics look. And so we looked at alert. We did a minimum death benefit. It's a male 35 preferred, minimum non-mech, 15,000 a year in premium to age 65, and then just a typical distribution between age 66 and 86. And then we solved for $10,000 at age 100. Now we did the annual point-to-point S&P 500, which is our most used allocation option. And as you can see, for the most part, most of the carriers have that. We did monthly distributions, and we said, let's look at taking out the most amount of cash for that 20 years and how do we match up. So fortunately, in this and the other two as well, we ended up on top. So if you follow my mouse here where it says Columbus Life, and then we go here, first part that I want to show to y'all is the max distribution. So when we look at ours, again, fortunately, ours is on top. We have a cap of 11 on our product and an illustrated rate of 6.45. So that generated the highest distribution here of basically $116,000 per year. Another thing that I thought was interesting when I looked at this analysis was our death benefit started off low but beat most of the market. So we weren't trying to strip out the death benefit just for the sake of providing a higher income. So if something happened now, or even an emergency, happened at age 65, we still have a very high death benefit. And then on this case, being a little bit smaller, but we still have a really high target. So when you compare this, you can scroll down and look at the rest of the market, but we have the highest target. So when you look at all of those, when you're able to combine max distribution with a great rated carrier, good death benefit, and good target, I thought that was a good story to tell. Definitely go to Levinson, go to your marketing team. They know our product pretty well, and they can run illustrations and just compare what you're doing now to the other carriers that you're using. I did a comparison also this week I want to share with you before I turn it back over to the team there. It was a large case, a big 1035 case, and we were competing against Allianz. Our annual premium was, our annual income distribution was about 12% higher than Allianz on an annual basis, and the target was considerably higher. It turned out we were about $20,000 higher per year on this case than Allianz. So definitely we're impressed. I will tell you one thing just to plug Columbus Life before we finish. This was based on our product being just a basic S&P 500, 6.45, 11% cap product. There's no games in there. There's no non-guaranteed bonuses or levers to pull. It's just a basic, everybody can understand it, simple product. So just wanted to share this comparison with you. Once again, like Sherman echoed, we appreciate the time today. We appreciate your business, and we look forward to helping y'all through Levinson with any of the business that you're working on at this point. I'll pass it back over to you, Bill and Andrew. Yep.
Great stuff. Chad, real quick, when you were talking about when you compared against Allianz, you're saying premium was neck and neck, death benefit neck and neck, and the big differentiator was cash value and income. That was the $20,000 difference?
Yep. We had a similar death benefit, same premium. It was actually a large case. It was $2 million of $1035 for a physician. Our income after 5 years, we held for 5 years. Our income was 177, and theirs was 156.
Wow. Everything else, and everything else being neck and neck.
Yes, everything else.
Yeah. Yep. That's strong. That's real strong. So, there you have it. And Chad has been with us for a long time, and I'm sure you remember him from the past days. So he tells it like it is. That was great stuff. Chad and Sherman, thank you so much. I want to jump now into the IUL Experience platform. This is a value add, okay, as another differentiator for you all to leverage tools, marketing pieces. Andrew's going to touch on what's available, what's new, what did we add to the platform for 2021. And then as soon as he's done, I'm going to show you the real secret sauce, right? Give you some options, and then we're going to do our question of the day right before 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Andrew?
Yep, thanks so much, Bill. Appreciate it. I want to go over the IUL experience, and we're getting a lot of great questions on the text line. I really appreciate everybody's involvement. And to that point, we're getting a lot of questions about product issue ages and max face limits, and that's exactly why we came up with this, because the IUL marketplace, as you just heard, there's a lot of moving parts. Some carriers have bonuses, some don't. Some have, different spreads, different caps, different floors, different interest rate allocations. So we wanted to develop a microsite that's available to all Levinson agents. It's 100% free. You can get it right on the Levinson website, or you can go to IULexperience.com and log in with your Levinson credentials, and you have access to everything at your fingertips, okay? Not going to 10 different websites. It's all in one place. So whether that's, getting the marketing material, whether it's agent or consumer material, getting strategies and concepts, videos for training, learning center, if you have downline agents that need to brush up on IUL, all of that information is here on the IUL experience. So that's exactly why we developed this, to make your life so much easier when it comes to the IUL marketplace. And of course, Columbus is the newest edition, which I'll get into moving forward. So here, I wanted to quickly just show you, we have a lot of pre-made and carrier-compliant marketing material, right? We get a lot of questions is, how do I market IUL? What do I send? Who do I send it to? Well, this area of the IUL experience is all compliant material, so you don't have to worry about if you can use it or not. It's all carrier-created materials that you can co-brand and send out in social media blasts. You can send it out in your email blasting system like our agency automator, whatever it is you're using. Take advantage of this stuff, and we set it up by carrier. So if you have a specific company like Columbus or Allianz or whoever that you're promoting, you can go in here and grab that marketing material and send it to your prospects, just like the topics we're discussing today. So definitely check out that part of the IUL experience. It's definitely worth a look. Also under training, of course, we have on-demand videos, training libraries, scripts, whatever you feel you need to get brushed up on as far as IUL, we have it, okay? If you want to even talk to us one-on-one, we'll go ahead and set up a call. We are happy to do that, but we want to make the resources available so that you feel more comfortable selling IUL products. So like I said, it's all on demand. It's available 24/7 for you. We're always updating this with new content from all of us and the carriers. Here's just a quick snapshot of the product information page. So we list everything for you in alphabetical order as to which carriers we do business with. It's just an example, but we have just recently updated all of this information with new product information, brochures, all compliant with AG 49 for 2021. We have all of the brand new Columbus Life material, which you definitely want to check out, that Sherman and Chad just went over. So everything to do with their caps and how the product works and the client handouts, all of that has been added to the back office of IUL Experience. So you want to check this out, but this is just an example of what it is you can get from this menu here. Last slide for me is the scholarship. I'll let Bill go over an awesome strategy with this, but if you're not using the scholarship platform, you need to. I mean, we always talk about it, but it's just a complementary way for you to create value, right? And that's the name of the game in this business. There's so much competition out there. Everybody has the same products, but the difference is they don't have you and they don't have this scholarship program. So what I'm going to do is get it over to Bill. He's going to show you how you can actually utilize this to retain and develop more business. Bill, you there?
Yep. Thank you, Andrew. So if you've been with us a while, I'm sure you've heard us speak about this. Yes, it's updated. We have more colleges than ever. They're adding 2 to 3 per month right now. We also added that direct-to-consumer one-click setup, which is available on your website. Okay, if you're using a website on our platform, the button's already there. If you have your own website, we can set it up for you as well. Very, very simple. It's basically your client clicks once, name, address, phone, and they have their own, think of like online checking account with Bank of America. They have their own Sage account set up. They can log in every month, every day, 24/7. They can see how many points they have. Every point is $1 of scholarship, and then they can check to see what new colleges are added to the platform. So it's really, really cool stuff. Now, here, in my opinion, okay, and just hear me out for a second, okay? And it doesn't matter if you're working final expense, mortgage protection, you can do this with return of premium term, IUL, UL, whatever the case is. But when you're out there working, let's say your lead program or referrals that are coming in, right? And think about this for a second. You know, I'm an agent and Andrew is an agent, okay? And let's say the consumer, Judy, likes Andrew a little bit better than me, okay? And she likes the way he sounds and he makes her laugh, okay, whatever the case is. Andrew is pitching a final expense product, okay? And I'm also pitching a final expense product. Let's say $25,000 of death benefit, and that's what Judy needed for burial. And companies are rated very close, both A-rated, premium very close, both $25,000 death benefit, okay? I'm coming in and I'm saying, Judy, I am giving your grandchild, okay, or niece or nephew, cousin, any blood relative, a 1-year free scholarship, okay? So yes, let's say Judy likes Andrew a little bit better, okay? Judy's going to buy from me every single time. Why? Because the products are very, very close, almost identical, but I'm giving this ultimate value add for Judy's grandchild, right, which is going to help with his 4-year tuition when he goes into college. And it doesn't cost Judy a penny more and doesn't cost me, the agent, a commission reduction. So it's a no-brainer, okay? Just remember this. And here, in my opinion, this really separates you from the rest of the competition, okay? You're out there making your calls, working your leads, okay? Now think about this for a second, especially in the senior market. You know, let's say for a grandchild, this illustration in front of you. We use the Columbus Life IUL that we just spoke about for the last 20 minutes. And this is a 2-year-old male, okay, putting in $100 a month, $1,200 a year, okay? Now, in my opinion, the ultimate investment vehicle tied to life insurance, right? Tied to a free scholarship. And this is the differentiator right here. So look at the illustration in front of you. And this is what I want to point out real quick, and then we'll move forward here. So putting in a total, let's say, of $24,000 over a 20-year period, okay? Look at the total cash value in year 20, okay? So putting in $24,000, total cash value of just under $26,000, okay, plus a $43,000 scholarship. So the total value little Johnny can use for his 4-year tuition when he's ready is almost $70,000, which is probably going to pay for 2 or 3 years, depending on the college. Plus, look at this free death benefit that little Johnny had along the way that goes up to just over $150,000 of free life insurance, plus almost 70 grand to be used towards a 4-year tuition. Plus, the life insurance will continue. So Johnny can have this for the rest of his life. So for $100 a month, I don't know of any other product or strategy that can perform like this. Maybe you do, but I'm not aware of it. This is amazing. That's almost 3 times the value, okay? That's a big deal. And I think if you can explain this to prospects, right? And it's not rocket science. The numbers are right in front of you. The only difference is, let's say with Andrew's illustration, he's showing everything on the left side. With my illustration, I'm showing everything on the left side, but I'm adding the 6th column in orange, okay? That is the hook, okay? And when you explain this, and we have videos and marketing pieces, brochures, we can co-brand for you. But when you explain this in just a few minutes, just like we are now, it's a no-brainer. It's a win-win every time. And even if they like Andrew better, doesn't matter. I'm giving the ultimate value add package for Judy's grandson, okay? I'm going to get the sale every time. Okay, let's move forward. Premium finance. Now, think about this. So we have a premium finance section on our website. We work with 2 different vendors, okay? We have a few different programs. And in the past, you think about, oh, this client, they have to have a combined income of over $1 million and $5 million of net worth. Not anymore. Not anymore. A minimum salary requirement now of $100,000 a year. And guess what? The net worth could be 0. Doesn't make a difference. We even have programs that don't take any of your commissions, no splits. Okay, so it's a different world now. We just did a big case. We had an existing Mass Mutual universal life policy, and it basically, young doctor, healthy doctor, we took the existing UL, turned it into a new UL with living benefits. We 1035 the money over. We were able to increase his death benefit by 3 times and keep the premium the same that he was paying before with the mass policy. Okay, it was a slam dunk case. Everybody was happy. The agent walked away with a few $100,000 of commission. Okay, so leverage this stuff. Everything's on our website. We have some great examples on the right side. Everything, you know what, Andrew, let's include this in the thank you email as well, so everyone has a little snapshot. Okay, let's move forward real quick. We're just about done, by the way. So this was episode 29, the Bill Levinson Experience podcast. This was kind of cool. So this is the first time we had an author from What's Your Whoopee. He's a featured TED Talk speaker. He's been on there twice. As a matter of fact, he interviewed me for 1 hour. We kind of went back and forth. It was really cool, a different spin on what it takes to be successful during a pandemic, and then kind of my whole life story and what worked and what didn't for me and how important mentorship is. And it's really, really cool. If you leave a comment on our Facebook page, your favorite podcast channel, or YouTube, we'll send you in fact, we have a great IUL prospecting book, a part 2 from Mary Reed that I'll send you on me. But I want to hear from you, okay? All right, moving forward, what's new at Levinson? So lots and lots of stuff going on in March. On the right side, we are giving out our top agent awards for 2020. Usually we do this at our live agent expo. Obviously, that's been pushed back because of what's going on. So you're going to see the picture on our Facebook page, but congratulations to all of you who made it. That's a huge accomplishment. Let's move over to the left side. We just added Guaranty Trust Life to the mix of direct IMO contracts at Levinson, a great guaranteed issue plan. Also, this is a big one, a new Insure Me Now direct product that we are adding to the mix. Think about this for a second. Instant issue, okay, up to $1.5 million, okay? So 100% client driven. The client can go on your site, they can run a quote, and by the way, rates very competitive. It's a new carrier, A+ rated, and cigar smokers, non-tobacco rates. Occasional marijuana users, non-tobacco rates. They have some underwriting niches that are going to blow your mind. You're going to see this launched in the next few weeks, but folks, this is going to change the landscape in our industry, okay? Also, a new mortgage protection lead program we rolled out a few weeks ago. That's a big one. You can check out the webinar on that and more to come. Also, bottom left side, we have a new referral program that gives you an opportunity to make at least $100 just for sending over a name, even if they don't buy a product. So that's another big one you're going to see launched in the next week or two. So great stuff going on. As always, we want to be so unique, right, that no one else has anything like what we offer you guys and girls that are out there. And I think we're living by that. You can see the proof is in the pudding. I always like to say that, but it's so true. You don't have to listen to what we say, but watch what we do, right? Very simple. Let's move on to the next slide here. Upcoming trainings. Now, and by the way, second to last slide, we're just about done. These are just basic incentives. Obviously, if you're already appointed with any of our carriers, you transfer over to us, you get free leads or cash for contracting with your first application. Plus, we beat 99% of the time, beat your commissions or at the minimum match, but you get all of the bells and whistles and all of the value add we just went over. Okay, upcoming trainings, which is what you're on right now, just a few things that I'm going to mention. So as you know, every single day of the week, we have our agency automator trainings, Monday to Friday. We host these at 2 p.m. Now, Kevin, our programmer, is, let's just say he had a little health condition. Everything's okay, but we have postponed these at least 1 week. You can use the service email or, of course, reach out to any of us, and we can help you. And then we'll pick up these trainings again in about 5 to 10 days. We'll let you know by email. On the bottom there are top indexed annuity plans and new agent incentives on the 23rd. And then on the bottom, Mary Reed, she's the ultimate, okay? You probably heard me speak about Mary Reed or heard the podcast or webinar. She's coming back on the 28th at 3 p.m., another big one. All right, our last slide here in our question of the day. Well, actually, I'm going to do my Positive Tuesday quote first on the right side. The best business idea in the world is to start it, okay? That's simple. You got to jump in first, and then you figure it out, not the other way around. Otherwise, you're waiting on the sideline for the rest of your life. The left side is our mission statement and the question of the day. I spoke about the Bill Levinson Experience podcast in my latest launch with Donnie Wilson. What is the episode number? So the March podcast with Donnie Wilson, what episode number is that? Okay, you tell me the number, you win. Andrew, do we have a winner?
Yes, we do. Ton of responses. Great job. First to answer correctly is Jonathan B. Jonathan B as in boy, coming to us from Arizona.
Okay, number 29. Jonathan, congratulations. Thank you all so much for taking the time. Get out there, put your foot on the gas, make it happen, and we're here to help. Okay, pick up the phone, call. We want to hear from you. I said it 4 times. Have a great rest of the week, a good weekend, great selling. Stay safe, healthy, and happy. Take care.